What is going on, everybody? It is Jew with another book review. And before I get to the book review, I'm going to be telling you that I do comic book reviews, filming reviews, video game reviews, trailer reactions, and I will be watching films for the first time and reacting to those as well. This time I'm doing a review on the Antagonists. I read issue 1, 2, and 3. Antagonists is Godhood Comics, an indie written, made by Martin Dunbar. Someone told me about it, and I said, all right, I'll check it out. I have no problem with checking them out. You know, if you have any recommendations, just let me know. Especially for indie comics. You can tell me to read a Batman book all you want to, but, you know. So, what is this? This is a villain. This is about super villains family. They are super villains. But they're in modern time. They're trying not to live as those super villains anymore. But so the first one just kind of gets into showing who they are right now. It just kind of gets into, you know, the wife. She's like a high paid works for some business and is hoping for this promotion and doesn't get it. So things go a little sideways at work. And yeah, so the daughter, I guess, has some issues. The dad is like a principal. The daughter gets in trouble and he punishes her. One of the sons is like an underground street fighter. The other son is a nerd. He's like a young nerd who's smart and does all the scientific stuff. So in the second one, it goes back in time and narrates who they were. And they had this whole chip on their shoulder about how, you know, like, their people were treated in the past. They don't like the government, you know, just black people and, you know, just stuff like making a stand. Like, I'm angry because of that, so now I'm a villain. And then basically just get to that. They had this plan to blow up some stuff, but they had these heroes, they were, I guess, so-called super villains. They had these heroes, like what's the name, the American and Liberty, Miss Liberty, and the Eagle or something like that. There was like 4 of them. A little cheesy, I ain't gonna lie to you. A little cheesy with those heroes, though. So they get to this little battle with them, and it's basically just saying what happened. They had a plan that they ended up killing American because they had plans to nuke or shoot a missile at America. And American risked his life. The dude American risked his whole life to protect the country and blew himself up and ended up dying. So what the interesting part is when I was a little cringed at some of the parts because of the whole, it felt like it was more trying to lead more towards a woke agenda about the history of black folks and all that. I'm not really, when it comes to superhero comics, I hear all that all the time in other situations, not comic books. But it's fine. They just kind of was thrown in there. But it got super interesting when it got to issue 3. She had to confess to her husband what she did to her boss. And these people are on their trail. Here's the truth. Here's what it is. It kind of went to a flashback of them, of how they met. The dad was like a nerd. He was a nerd back in school. And she met him at some party. And he had his heart broken that she was there for him. And then this thing had hit the earth. This thing came from the sky. And they touched it. That's how they got their superpowers. But anyways, it gets into real time, and they are under investigation by like the FBI and stuff, because it turns out for 20 plus years, people have been looking for them. They've been looking for these people. What's his name? Destructus, and they've been looking for them. They've been looking for them, and now what happened with the lady's boss, it opened up the investigation because like, oh, this looks suspicious. Now it's like, okay, FBI is like, I want to know, did anybody have any enemies with this dude? What happened in this parking lot? But she confessed to her husband what she did. Oh my God, he was pissed. He was pissed because their plan was to live a regular life. Basically, when they had kids, it changed who they were. As much as they had this plan and how angry they were at the government, the everything. He said, we're not going to live that life. We made a promise. We're not going to live that life. And she exposed herself but no one saw. But it's under investigation, and it's very suspect because people have been looking for them because they've been pretty much disappeared in the eyes of most. So now the FBI is like, yeah, we want to. This is very suspicious. What happened to him? This guy ended up getting burnt up in, I guess, like a radiation or something. So it's like, nah, that dude ain't just regular blow up. Something happened to him. So she's investigating, like, and it happened, I think, in the parking lot. So she's checked. She going to the job. The FBI lady going to the job, asking questions like, anything happened? Well, one person like, well, we heard an argument with so and so. Okay. Well, anyways, this is where it gets super interesting. The FBI calls, I guess, her boss and tells her that I think we found these people. She's like, I think we found them, and I've been on this investigation. He's like, nah, it's over with. Just leave it alone. Take a flight back to DC. Walk away from it. She's pissed because this is her job. This is what she devoted herself to do, is to figure out where these people are. And it shows this guy in the shadow. But this is where it gets interesting. At the very end of the third one, they got new neighbors all of a sudden. They show up at the door. It's a family of, I think, a wife, husband, and 2 daughters. They're like, hey, we're here to let y'all know we're new neighbors. We're going to bring y'all a gift. The oldest son is like, huh? The fuck? You know what I mean? Like, oldest son looking like, what the bro, like, but me reading, I'm looking at the dad like, yeah. Very interesting. So, all right, so that's 3 issues. It ended like that. I don't know if they have a 4th issue. So, I will say I was a little sketchy at first with the plot of what this was truly going to be about, but it got interesting, and I'm like, all right, now I need to see issue 4. So, the overall scale on this one, I'll give it a 7.5, just because of those little parts threw me off. But if 4 and 5 or whatever the rest of the issues are end up being good, I'll change my rating later. Hopefully it doesn't go down. Hopefully it goes up. So you got something interesting here. The art is good. The art is okay. The art is not bad. It's not like super detailed, but it's not like low end art. The art is good. So I'd recommend it. I recommend this to any comic book lover. I think the story itself reached a point where it became very, very good. There was like, I think I want to say it was an issue 2 where there was a scene. One of the dialogue areas was a little like much. There was a lot going on in it. There was like a picture, and it had so much speech bubbles going on. And I said, whoa. But other than that, no complaints. I'm satisfied that I ended it with interest. I did, you know what I mean? So, good job on this. If the writer or whoever comes and sees this review, good job, man. I'm waiting for issue 4. And yes, see you on the next one.